Right, welcome back. I am back from Mexico, so I thought I've taught you quite a lot of the basics already, so I think it's time you learn your first entry model. So you know about PD range, you know about liquidity, you know about sessions, you know quite a decent amount now. You've got a good foundation to build on it. So all I'm going to teach you today is one of my entry models. An entry model is just something that shows you, well, it's where price presents a place to enter from. That's pretty chopped explanation, but an entry model like AMD is just pure price action, which shows you a point in price where you can potentially enter from. That's going to be a high probability to take your draws on liquidity. I think that's a less chopped way of explaining it, because I have entry models that are different to AMD as well, but AMD is more of like a model and an entry model. You'll understand when you learn about the way I trade why it's so weird to explain that. But anyways, AMD is a model, and all it is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's what it stands for. A, accumulation, M, manipulation, D for distribution. And what are these? Well, the market is always moving in one of these three ways. It's the market's either accumulating, it's either manipulating, or it is either distributing. It's always doing one of the three at all times, unless it's news, and when it's high impact news, the market just does whatever it wants. Technical analysis doesn't really matter when it comes to high impact news events, so bear that in mind. And right, so AMD is just it's sort of like a pattern that you look for, that gives you kind of an inkling of what price is doing and where it wants to go. So it usually happens from around 1:30 until 3:30 UK time, or US time 8:30 till 10:30. Yeah, that's on NQ, but most AMD on most pairs does happen in between these time periods, but it can happen out of them. But for higher probability, keep it within this pre-market to New York. You'll hear a lot of people saying 10 a.m. power of 3. This AMD is also referred to as the power of 3 because accumulation, manipulation, distribution. You'll hear a lot of people referring to it as that, but it means the same thing. Right, anyways, what is AMD? The way you spot it first is you're going to look for the accumulation, the A. All the accumulation is just literally trading review. All the accumulation is just when price is ranging, so it's going from side to side. It's not really like hunting liquidity, it's generating liquidity. Price is just making highs, making lows. It's not really going in the direction, it's just going sideways. That would be your accumulation, A. So it can be difficult as a beginner to spot when price is accumulating sometimes, depending on what time frame you're on. Well, that's how I found it anyway, but other times it's really simple. But all you have to look for is just where price is just going side to side like that, because what is happening here is the institutions, the market makers, they are generating liquidity here. They're generating buy side, they're generating sell side. And then you're going to see manipulation. So you're going to have a bias before you see this AMD. Most of the time, you're going to have, well, all the time you should have a bias. So say you are bearish for the day, you're going to see this happening. So you're going to see accumulation. Once you see the accumulation, you're going to look for a PD array, which price could potentially manipulate into. So remember, we've got buy side here. You want to see buy side get taken and then price tap into a PD array. So if you remember from the order blocks video or the fair value gaps video, a PD array is a discounted level in price where the institutions are going to buy or sell from in order to get price cheaper. Because why would they sell price down here when they could push it up, create a lot more orders, create a lot of liquidity, and then take it down? So anyways, going on a bit of a tangent, sorry. This would be your manipulation. So manipulation is where price moves against your bias, where it's like it's sort of hunting for liquidity / to tap into a PD array. So here you can see we've got this order block. Price accumulates, generates buy side, generates sell side, manipulates into the PD array, taking out buy side, and then, as you can see here, price taps into the PD array and then distributes to come and take sell side. And when you're trading AMD, you can see how it's like the power of three. You can see how it's a pattern now. You look for the consolidation, look for a PD array for price to manipulate into, and then the distribution where price goes in accordance with the trend, the higher time frame draw, the higher time frame bias. Price is always doing one of these things. It's always either accumulating, generating liquidity, usually does this in Asia session, and then it usually manipulates. It usually does this in London session, and then it usually distributes in New York session. That's how you look at it from a higher time frame perspective. So this is fractal. Well, everything in trading is fractal. I don't want to confuse you too much with fractability, but all it means is you can see it happening across all time frames. So I want you to bear that in mind about AMD, that usually Tokyo session is usually accumulating, London session is usually manipulating, it's hunting liquidity, tapping into PD arrays, and then New York session is then distributing. Hopefully that makes enough sense. But also a good way to use AMD and how I use it really is, because this isn't always necessarily clear, it's just a way of looking at price, but price is always doing one of these three things. So if Asia session distributes, then London session is likely to accumulate, New York could manipulate. It could change, but usually this is Asia, this is London, and this is New York. That's one way you can look at price. So you can look at price and see what is price doing. Is it accumulating? Is it manipulating? Or is it distributing? That is a good way to look at price, but it may not always be the clearest what price is going to do. So, but usually Asia accumulates, London manipulates, New York distributes, and you're usually looking to catch this. So this would be on a higher time frame where you see this. So maybe like the 15 minute, 30 minute, any high time frame. This is where you can see. So consolidation manipulates into a PD array and then distributes, taking out sell side or buy side. And the way you want to get an entry here, you could, so if this is higher time frame, because price is fractal, you can go down to a lower time frame, for example the 5 minute. It could be around maybe in that half 1 till half 3 window, around pre-market New York Open. You could go on the 5 minute and you could see this AMD pattern play out on the 5 minute chart. So you see price start to accumulate, you see it manipulate into a PD array, and then you see it distribute, which is how I usually use AMD. So I believe we've got an example down here. Yeah, Let's stick on replay trading. Don't want to make this video too long, but AMD is fairly simple model. So let's say for some reason you've got a bearish bias here, you want to be looking for sells. You've got these draws on liquidity down here, got a low here, you've got a low here. Say you've got these draws and you are looking for sells. So you can see we've got a 5-minute order block here. We have this buy side liquidity here. So you can label it BSL to remember. Because remember what we said. You've got sell side down here. Or we'll call it SSL. Sell side liquidity. So you got buy side there, you got sell side there. You got a 5-minute order block here. And let's go to the 1 minute. Throw some into down here. So we've got these lows here, and you can see it's pre-market now. And we can just watch price for a bit. You can see price takes out sell side, what creates relative equal lows with sell side here. And you can see, how I said it's not easy to spot, but you can see price is starting to get a little bit messy and barcoded around about here. You can see it's just going up, down, up, down, up, down. It's not really trending, it's more just going up then down, a bit like a yo-yo. So that is when you start to think, when you see this, you think, right, there's equal lows down here. I've got buy side up here, and I've got an order block here. This could be accumulation, or it is accumulation. Because with trading and most stuff, you don't want to predict the market, you want to react. So you need to trade off probabilities. So what you now know AMD, or you're learning AMD. So you see this consolidation here. You know that price wants to take buy side. You know price likes to tap in PD raise. So you see this and you think, wait a minute, price is starting to accumulate. I would like to see price manipulate, taking out buy side and tapping into the 5-minute PD array. So that's what your thought process should be like. It's not, it will, it's price could do, and if it taps here, I'd be happy to enter and target sell side. So let's see what it does. Well, you'll fucking know what it does really, don't you? Because I'm showing it here. But you can see here, look at that. Price is accumulating here. Time it's just before market open as well, and if you know NQ nowadays, don't take this literally, I'm joking, but NQ likes to dump at market open sometimes. Nowadays it's doing it quite a lot as of recording this video, but that's just because it's near all-time highs, so don't take that literally. But NQ can be quite crazy at market open sometimes. Which one did I put it as? Yeah, it's great. Right, so you can see here, price is accumulating on the 1 minute. It's got buy side. Remember what I said? You're going to see it accumulate and you think, right, well, I'm going to want to see price manipulate, taking out buy side, tapping into the PD array here. So here is your manipulation leg. Put that in red. Sorry, it's trading views a bit cooked, or I am. So you see price. So price has took out buy side, it's tapped into a PD array. So where do we want to see price go now? Sell side. Obviously the bottom of this AMD range, you've got these relative equal lows. So you see price manipulate, and you'd want to enter in the PD array. So that's why I said when you see price start to accumulate around this time, and then you see it start to manipulate, you want to look for a PD array where price could potentially tap into, and it might do, it might not. That nothing in trading is certain. It's all probabilities. Sometimes it might do, sometimes it might not. It might tap into the PD rate and then disrespect it. It's just, I wouldn't say it's random, but nothing in trading is certain, and you need to learn to get comfortable with that, because that's how you become profitable. When you realise that anything can happen in the markets, because someone could, AMD might be happening, and then some fucker could just click buy, and then the market might, someone with a very large account, anyone can influence it, so anything can happen. But generally, stuff is higher probability, like AMD. You look for this pattern in the market. This is how the market moves across all time frames. So this makes a sell position high probability, because you've looked for price accumulating, you want to see it manipulate, taking out liquidity, tapping into a PD array, and then you want to catch the distribution. So you want to enter a sell from the PD array and target the sell side liquidity. Buy side's been taken, price is manipulated, taken buy side, tapped into the PD array, collected orders. You want to enter at the discounted price with the institutions, and then there you go. Look at that. It's took out sell side and absolutely dumped. So yeah, that's AMD, and if you couldn't tell, this is your distribution here. AMD. Right, now please do not look for every time price consolidates and look for AMD every time you see price consolidating, because that's not what it is. You need to look for it at specific times, and it's more, the way I usually identify AMD is with the consolidation and then the manipulation. So I look for a PD array. When I start to see consolidation within this time period, at the bottom here, 3:30 till 2:30, I look for my PD array that's in line with my bias. So I've got a bearish bias here. I'd look for this order block here. I'd look for buy side and say, oh, if buy side gets taken and this order block is tapped into, I would take a sell from there. And you see, it happens because price accumulates, manipulates, and then distributes. Hopefully I've made that clear enough. But if you've got any questions, message me. We can go through it one-on-one. I am happy to. It's my first video back in a couple of weeks, so excuse me if it's a bit cooked. But yeah, go and look out for this on the market. It usually happens in that time period, usually around, especially around 10 a.m. New York time. But just look for it, try to see it happen. The PD array doesn't have to be an order block. It could be a fair value gap. It could be a fib level. Sometimes I've seen it can be anything, but just make sure you're on the right side of it. So you spot the accumulation, you see where you want the manipulation to go to, and then you enter at the start of the distribution. Another side note as well, I just wanted to say, because this video is a bit long, but I kind of wanted to just sort of actually explain AMD, because it's the first model, but my other model videos, when I do them, they'll be considerably shorter. But because you are new, I felt like I'd spend a little bit longer explaining it. But from the entry model perspective, it's not always going to appear. So you just look for it, like I did in the video. You look for it, and just if it appears, then you take it. But it won't appear every day, so don't get like bogged down if it doesn't appear every day. It does a lot of the time, but not every single day. So just bear that in mind when you're on the charts and looking. AMD, to enter off, personally I like the 5 minute to look at AMD and use it for entries. So yeah, just thought I'd add that in at the end, because everything that I teach, it doesn't happen every day. Well, most of it doesn't. Like, you can see stuff, but it's not gonna happen every single day. It's gonna happen sometimes, and you need to be present and make yourself available for when it does happen. You need to be able to spot it for when it does happen. So just don't get like pissed off if you're not seeing it. So look, you can see another example of it today. Accumulation, manipulation. There's 2 5-minute. So it's tap into both in there. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's from today, but quite a lot of news this week, so I didn't want to take it. But as you can see, same shit here. You know what? We'll quickly go through it. Video is going to be over 20 minutes, but well, you just can deal with it. All my other ones are going to be short. So here you can see price is looking like it's in the downtrend, respecting bearish PD raise. We also have this new week opening gap that is unfilled. So you only want to be really looking for sells. Don't worry about new week opening gaps. We'll do a video on it when we get more advanced, which should be pretty soon, providing that you show me that you can understand this. Then we're actually going to start getting to the good shit soon, hopefully. Right, anyways, so you can see here quickly. Price on the 5-minute starts to accumulate here. Red starts to accumulate. You know, there's sell side down here, relative equal lows. Well, there's lows, then a couple of points off, but you know what I mean. There's relative equal lows. They're close enough for me personally. And you've got this order block up here. I'm not sure if it's higher than 5-minute order block, but I don't really care. I've just literally spotted this as I was ending the video. So you've got this order block up here. Mark that in black. So price accumulates. Then price distributes into the order block. Taps the CE, the 50% mark. So A. Manipulates into the order block and then taps the C and then distributes and takes out sell side. AMD. These two should be different colours, but it doesn't matter. But it's just so you can spot it. So you see the accumulation, create sell side here, the manipulation into the order block, and then the distribution that takes out sell side. And then obviously we came back up because we took sell side and took buy side. So yeah, but you can see it happen there today in real time. But price is it's a no news Monday, so price can be a bit dodgy, but well, this played out. So yeah, there you go. Sorry for the long video, but the other ones will be shorter. So yeah, bye.